coming at you from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and today we're looking at a passage from 2 Corinthians where Paul is encouraging the believers of this church to remember something that is so critical. He tells them that they're a new creation. They're something completely new. I remember when I was a kid, I had these toys. They were called Transformers. Maybe you saw the movies, or maybe you have a couple of the toys. But what Transformers are is they change from one thing into another. There may be a 16-wheeler that turns into something that looks more like a human, or a police car that turns into something that looks more like a human, or a sports car, or a motorcycle. And they were super fun to play with. But when they're in human form, you could tell what they used to be. They still look like a tractor trailer that's now turned into a human. See, Paul here is saying that you're not necessarily a transformer. It's not like you've changed and you still resemble the old thing as you turn into this new thing. Paul is saying in chapter 5, verse 17, he says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he's a new creation." He doesn't say you're a transformer. All that sin that used to be in your life, it's still visible to God, and that he can still see all those things, and you still resemble the old self. No, when God looks at you, and when God formed you as a result of the faith that is put into your heart as you believe in Christ, he says that you have been changed in such a way that you are a new creation. I mean, consider that. I mean, when I look in the mirror, I see a lot of the old self. And so what it takes is eyes of faith to believe that what God has said is true, not what I see when I look in the mirror. It's so important for me to believe that this passage is true rather than believe in my five senses. I mean, he goes into other things throughout this passage, and as you spend some time today looking at the devotional that you can print off below, I mean, consider these things that are now new. He says that Christ's love compels us. He gives us this new mission, and his love for us is what gives us fuel to move forward. He talks about the fact that we're convinced that we have no other thing that we can depend on in our minds other than what he says about us is true. He also says that we've been reconciled, that our relationship with him is right. That he doesn't shake his head at us and wonder what in the world is wrong with you anymore. He says that we are wholly reconciled with God the Father. Not only that, but he gives us the responsibility and honor of reconciling others as well. He calls us ambassadors, that we are people who speak for the living God. We bring forth his message to the world. And then he wraps it all up with this awesome statement. He says that Jesus became sin for us, and that as a result we become the righteousness of God. That's the new creation that we are. We are the righteousness of God. If you believe in Jesus, you are the righteousness of God. You're not what you see in the mirror. You're not anything else that what people say about you or what you think about yourself. You are what God says about you. If you believe in Jesus, you are the righteousness of Christ. What a beautiful thing to go into the day with. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.